Brilliance Audio presents Red Specter by Brian Andrews and Jeffrey Wilson, performed by Ray Porter. "It's a trap," said the voice in his ear. "Let's try not to jump to premature conclusions," John Dempsey replied as he piloted the silver Mercedes-Benz Sprinter around a tight fishhook turn. The panel van's tires grumbled in protest as he maneuvered off Greenholme Street onto the pothole-ridden dirt and gravel stretch that led to an abandoned Estonian textile factory complex. Despite the early hour, the sun was already breaching the horizon, painting the Baltic sky with brilliant pink and orange hues. The city of Narva was north of the 59th parallel, putting it a degree north of Juneau, Alaska, in latitude. Thankfully, it was summer, and it didn't feel like he was operating in Alaska. "Another SUV just pulled up and parked behind the building. That makes 3 vehicles. I'm telling you, you're walking into a trap," Elizabeth Grimes repeated with annoyed, persistent conviction. Grimes, the team's designated sniper, overwatch, and devil's advocate in residence, was communicating via the microtransmitter stuffed deep in his left ear canal. When he didn't respond, she sighed and added, "This is one of your worst plans ever, you know that?" Dempsey glanced at Dan Munn, who was riding in the back of the van. The former Navy SEAL and combat surgeon did a chatterbox impersonation with his right hand, his fingers and thumb forming a squawking bird beak. Munn and Dempsey had served together at the Tier 1 back in the day in what felt like another lifetime. At the teams, Dempsey had been a tool of the Joint Special Operations Command, fulfilling a role as one of America's most lethal special operators. Now, he was a tactical spook, an operator playing dress-up and taking on the identity the mission du jour demanded. They named people like him Smith, Jones, or Johnson. In fact, John Dempsey wasn't even his real name, just the thing he called himself in this second incarnation of his life. As the head of Task Force Ember's Special Activities Division, the nation's best-kept counterterrorism secret, Dempsey was whoever America needed him to be to get the job done. Today, America needed him to be a scumbag bodyguard, and America needed Munn to pose as his boss, an even bigger scumbag international arms buyer. The pretext for the meeting was to inspect samples of the latest Russian weapons technology before placing a large order. The seller, Matvey Amarov, was one of Russia's most powerful mafia bosses, known for his ruthless practices and propensity for extreme violence. But it was all good. This was just another day at the office, catfishing the most dangerous, sadistic, and vile players in the world's criminal and terrorist underground. Munn flashed Dempsey a crooked grin and said, "Dude, you know she's usually right." "I know, but I'll never admit that," he whispered. Then, loud enough for Grimes to hear, he said, "I appreciate your concern, Alpha, but these Vory guys are famously paranoid. I mean, how many guys could Amarov have possibly brought?" "Since you asked, let me tell you," said Ian Baldwin, Ember's SIG-Int chief back in Virginia.